Hey, welcome to the Spring Bear Series. Beautiful day in Northern Ontario, April 27th. I'm going to be going into my bait site, check my trail cameras, and see if we got hit. I'm going to show you guys the process of building the barrels and setting up and baiting right through hunting, processing, and cooking. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the Spring Bear Series. Hey, what's going on? For part of the Spring Bear Series, I'm going to show you guys my bait barrels. So I got two 55-gallon drums. With this style of drum, I took the gaskets out of the lid just to make them easier to put the lid on and off. If you got the other style of drum that doesn't have a lid, you're gonna have to make a hinge in the lid so that you can take the lid in and off. Makes it a lot easier than putting bait in through the hole at the front. So I got two holes marked in them, and I'm gonna cut those holes out probably with a hot knife, and I'll show you guys what that looks like when I'm done. All right, so now that I got the holes cut in the front, come around to the back. I got an old piece of chain. I'm going to be chaining these together. I got the spots marked out. See, I'm going to be chaining this barrel here to this one, and then this barrel to an anchor point at my bait site. So I'm going to get these holes drilled, show you what that's going to look like. And I'm going to use these parts that I cut out from the front. I'm going to use them as backers to help reinforce it so the chain can't be ripped out quite as easily. All right, so I'm back, and let me show you what the chain setup looks like. So like I said on the back, we got the plates to back it, make it a little bit tougher. Then you come around the front. I used 3/8 stainless bolts to keep the chain together once it got through. And then where the two chains meet, I have a clevis so that when we're transporting it, we don't have to have the whole chain wrapped up and the barrels attached. We just transport the barrels separately or use them on different bait sites if need be. And then we could just bring the chain with us, and at the other end we'll use a clevis to either chain it around a tree, or in my case I think I might be using leg bolts to bolt it into a stump. Alright, so I'm on my way to the feed store right now. I'm going to be picking up some pre-made bear bait for the purpose of getting the bait out as soon as possible. I'm hoping to get the bait out tomorrow, and I just don't have time today to make any bear bait. I'm also going to be picking up some molasses because we are planning on doing popcorn as bear bait. I'll give that a try. And then after that I'm going to be headed to a local restaurant to pick up some fryer grease from them. So we got our bait set up here, and what we have is two barrels with a bag of trophy bear each in them. And we got a corral set up so that when the bears come in, they have to feed from these sides of the barrels because my tree stand is right up there. So they got to come in and feed from the front of the barrels, and then on the ground in front of the barrels we poured a bunch of grease. The bears walk through the grease, walk away, and then another bear can pick up on their smell and find our bait site. So here's the setup we got for making the popcorn. We got a Coleman stove hooked up to a 20-pound propane tank with a fish fryer pot on top. I just put about a 1/4 inch of grease in the bottom of the pot, put the popcorn in, put the lid on, and wait for it to pop. All right, so it's April 20th. It's been 3 days since I set up the bait barrels and baited them up with some pre-made bait and the grease. Earlier today I made some popcorn bait. I'll show a couple videos of that and the process of making that. I'm headed back into the bait site, but first I'm going to stop at a friend of mine's bait and I'm going to put a little bit in there just because he's out of town. He hasn't had a chance to bait yet. So we're just going to see what he's got for bears in that area and just kind of feel it out and see if he wants to set up there, or if he maybe wants to look into setting up somewhere else. Alright, so it's been 3 days. We're back here at the bait site. Unfortunately, I already had a look in the barrels. It doesn't look like we've been hit. I don't see any indications of anything getting into those barrels, but fingers crossed. I got a little bit of stink bait with me, and hopefully the next time we come out here we'll have some sign of a bear being here. We are still going to check the trail cameras and just see if anything crossed by, but it's not looking good right now. All right, so as you guys saw, we've been into the bear bait, and it hasn't been hit yet. Now, it's a little bit of a disappointment, but I still gonna remain hopeful. And it's only been 3 days, and that is a new bait site. We had some bears there last year when we had corn out for deer, but we haven't baited it specifically for bears, so it might take them a little while to find it, but we do know that there's some good bears in the area, and hopefully with a little bit of luck and time, we'll get some big bears coming in. I know this first part of the series wasn't very exciting. It was mostly just me making the barrels and getting the bait out there, but stick around, and with any luck, we're gonna have some bears coming in and get some really good footage of some of that.